If you're having troubles building champions in Raid, then this video is gonna be perfect for you. When building champions in Raid, you really know what kind of champion you're actually building, and we can do a very broad generalization of the champions here, and we can separate them into buffers, debuffers, and nukers. A general explanation of what a buffer is a champion that gives your team buffs, speed, turn meter boost, revive, heal, and heck, even cleanse. And Arbiter is a great example of a buffer champion. What she tries to do in battle is start the game first, so she can buff all of your team with extra attack, with extra speed, turn meter, and she's also gonna want to revive later on. So what do you want to have on a champion like this? Well, you need speed first and foremost. You want her to be the fastest champion in the game there. It's also not gonna be bad for her to have survivability, like HP percent, defense percent. If she's not gonna be starting first, resist is also nice. And since Arbiter does have some debuffs on her, she would also like to get some accuracy. But as I said, first things first, you gotta give her speed. So it's gonna be very important to have speed on the boots and speed on every other item as a substat. With debuffers, you basically have champions that place debuffs on the opponent's champions, crowd control them with either stun, provoke, freeze, that kind of stuff, or they drop their turn meter. And Lydia is a great example of such a champion because she has some of the greatest debuffs on her A2. What does a champion like Lydia want to be doing? Well, again, she wants to be starting relatively fast, definitely before your nukers, so she can actually land all of those debuffs before your nukers go in swinging, and that way your nukers are going to be dealing a lot more damage. What does a champion like Lydia need in terms of stats? Well, again, speed first and foremost, accuracy so she can actually land those debuffs, and also ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of survivability with HP percent, defense percent, and heck, maybe even resistance. Anything else would be a bonus for a champion like this, so don't go splurging around with things like crit rate and crit damage on either of your buffers or debuffers, not in your first few years of Raid at least. And lastly we have nukers. Nuker is anybody who wants to be dealing a big amount of damage either for a single target or as an AoE. And what do nukers need? Well, they need crit rate, so make sure to have 100% crit rate on your champion, and after that they need a lot of crit damage so they can really multiply those crits. After that, depending on the nuker you have, you really want to pay attention if they're attack-based, defense-based, or HP-based, and that would be the stat you want to be looking for that nuker, and you want to be ignoring the other two stats in that case, because that's where the damage is coming from. Again, you want them relatively fast, but they do need to be the slowest out of your buffers and debuffers in the team, so they can actually really be set up for success. If you want to learn more about how you want to be building champions, definitely check out my full-length video, where I really go into detail about all of this stuff. And you can also join my $20 giveaway as well as 1-hour coaching giveaway. Hope to see you there.